Coach, huge win Saturday. Just kind of talk about just the weekend as a whole, though. How do you think the team played?
Obviously, two really big wins for us this weekend. And as we talked about before, going into this weekend or this past week, two of the best teams with just inside post presence that can score. Angelo State, I think we got up on them pretty early, and we're actually able to sustain that lead throughout the game. We did a great job of moving the ball side to side, got each other open looks, scored from the perimeter, and then had a great post presence. Then we moved to LCU, which we knew was going to be a big game. One, I started off with, I thought we had great fan support. We had a couple thousand people in that gym, and that was awesome for both teams to really get to play in that environment. And LCU, we have a lot of respect for. They can score the ball really well, and obviously they have a great post player, Mattio. So we were really just fortunate to, we started off, we got some easy looks. I think we shot 14% the first quarter. So it was 9-11, so still a 2-point game at the end of the first quarter. We're able to get some offense flowing that second quarter. We're going to halftime with a lead, which was big. Any game like that, a 2 to 6 point lead, feels like it's really big at that point. And then that third quarter was really Megan Gamble and her ability just to score from the perimeter and get in there and create for her teammates. And we were just able to, put together enough runs offensively to sustain that lead. And as we got into the fourth, we really put LCU on that free throw line and kind of slowed the game down. Don't really love that piece of it. We'll talk about that. I think they scored 31 points in the fourth. Is that what it was? Or 31 in the second half, because it wasn't 18 or so of those were probably from the free throw line. So that's an area we would want to improve in. But overall, really proud of just our effort, our focus, and ability just to get the job done.
This season, you've talked a lot about your youth, but it was your seniors that came up big, and Megan Gamble and Tanner Parker. Just talk about their play on Saturday.
Yeah, you rely on that senior, that veteran leadership. Megan has played really, really well. I feel like once we've gotten into conference play, and her court vision, her ability just to get that ball down the floor is really what's separating her now from maybe other point guards in our league. And Tiana, defensively, she just neutralizes the other team. So, I think she made some good buckets around the paint too. But defensively, her and Abby Spurgeon, it's hard to pick one. And one night it's one, the next night it's the other. It was really both of them in the paint against LCU. Just stepping up, big moments, and Abby's a junior too, but it takes everybody. And I think we went, Megan and Delaney went 7 of 13 combined from the 3-point line. So those two, that's really good.
Having beaten the number 2 team in the nation, although they came in here on a loss, and you guys have sole possession of your division or paw lead there in the LSC. What does it do for you as far as establishing yourself as a favorite? Do you kind of think that now that it's like you've made a statement and we're on top and you're kind of the team to beat, and that's something that be a blessing or a curse?
The goal is growth. We have to keep getting better. So we're not anywhere where we need to be, and that's the exciting piece right now, is we have a long ways to go. And do we have a 2-game lead in our division? Yes, but do we still have a lot of tough road games and games in front of us starting this weekend as we go to Kingsville, because we lost last year down in Kingsville. So the goal is, there's always a tomorrow, and our preparation is key, and understanding that our prep for tomorrow is just as important as what happened yesterday and the days that are behind us now. So it's obviously you're happy for the wins, but at the same time, if we don't stay focused, we can lose that lead really, really easily, because we know how strong that Lone Star Conference is.
What do you know about Kingsville? What are you doing this week to prepare for that game in terms of, even if it's not for Kingsville, but maybe just like you said, making the team better?
Mm-hmm. Kingsville, new coach, same thing for international, new coach in the league, but Coach Madrid is very familiar with what's going on. He was at TWU. He also coached at Lubbock Christian for a little while too, and then has been a head coach before that. So a team that's a little bit more structured and organized than maybe what we've seen before in the past. They don't have a lot of bodies right now, it looks like. So for us, I think we're going to see several defenses as well from what I've seen so far. So it's still early in the week. We are still prepping. The biggest thing is we step into today. Let's clean up some things from this weekend. And our focus a lot is on the offensive end right now, making sure that we don't go on those several minute droughts that you've seen us go on at times. But it's a long road trip, and it's almost a day's travel for us as we go from school to the road, back under the court. So it's really important that we stay focused this week.
This is just kind of anecdotal, but how happy were you to not see Marquita Daniels on the court for Angelo State?
She's a special. Her speed was special. Brent and I were just talking about that actually. We thought maybe she had one more year of eligibility. Just kidding. We were teasing Megan. She was a special player, so I'm sure like people see for us, they're glad when we graduate certain players.
Yeah.
It was nice not to have to.
She was one of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, coming up, just how did I ask Coach Brown the same thing? How much of a grind is it going down to South Texas this whole road trip?
It is a grind. I mean, anytime you go on the road, it is. It's just a long, extended road trip, and it's just taking care of your bodies. We always say strong bodies, strong minds. Do everything you can to stay up on your schoolwork and communicate with your professors, and then keep our bodies strong as well. Because if we're injured and we can't put bodies out there, we can't go to battle like we want to do. So it's a high level of focus. You got to be mature as a team and understand that it's business at home, and then once you go on the road, it's that same approach, and you never know what environment you're going to step into. So I think they're trying to pack the house down there at A&M-Kingsville. I think I've seen some of their marketing, so that they're going to try to bring a great crowd too.
And maybe it's not, you don't want to tell the girls this, but no matter if you go in there as a coach and thinking, they've packed 2 long road trips, it's almost like you're down 8 to 10 points going into the gym, almost going to games like that, or
We say that, we feel that way, we kind of make it up too, but it is, you get a 10-point home court advantage is what kind of we say as we're preparing. So it's just, it goes back to the maturity. As you're talking about Tyson, your senior leaders, we have a leadership team, we met with them today too, and it's the whole, if what you did yesterday still looks good to you, then you're not getting better today. So how can we do that and stay hungry and focused on what's in front of us? And we have a lot of basketball to still be played.
How did you guys get Delaney Nix so many open looks this weekend?
Just doing a great job of her teammates finding her, and she shoots it deep too. So if you lose her in her ability to just catch it and fire away, she's really gotten better and way more accurate from the beginning of the season to where she is now. Major growth with Delaney, and just her ability to find open areas for herself and her teammates finding her as well.
And she does shoot it from deep. Anytime she launched it up, you're like, no, yes. Is that how?
No, it's a strength of hers, and we knew it recruiting. We watched her in high school, and we always said you have to guard her right when she steps off the bus, and that's a strength of hers. She's a little undersized, so that separation allows her to get her shot off, and really stretches the defense. So it's a strength of hers, and I think if she's missing short, sometimes we may say, hey, you can take 2 steps in and you still actually get 3 points for it. But I think she's done a good job of kind of understanding her game and her strengths, and just, she has her own niche out there on the court.